morning. Welcome to the Tasha and Dottie show, or the Dottie and Tasha show. On this cold day, rainy. I'm sure you're as tired of the weather as we are.
So I pulled the Kansas Housing Markets Forecast from Wichita State, and we thought we'd go over some of these figures, but really more importantly, how they impact you and your payment and your buying power. So according to online, they say the average purchase price in Wichita is about $220. Wichita State has it closer to $240, but for our purposes, we're just going to say a loan amount of $220,000, and those are the figures that we'll use when we start doing these comparisons. And we really want to tell you what impact interest rate would have at that price point. What impact would it have, Dottie?
Well, at $220,000, the impact each quarter percent would only lower your payment of 37% if you refi it.
$37.
$37. Sorry, not
yeah.
30. That would be fantastic.
Each quarter of a percent would lower your payment $37 a month.
Exactly.
So really, what's more significant?
Oh, the taxes and insurance. Taxes seem to be going up crazy, and insurance. I don't know if you've watched any of that or gotten a contact or received contact from your insurance agents, but insurance has gone up quite a bit, and that changes your payment more than that quarter percent.
And the big thing to watch out for is the quotes that you get on your Zillows or Trulias or Realtor.coms, the figure that they put in there for homeowners insurance. Clearly not a house in Kansas where we've got hail and tornado and roof replacement,
right? Because
it's 4 times the amount that they are quoting when they estimate your monthly payment.
And something you need to keep in mind, even though maybe we haven't had a bad storm or anything here in Kansas, insurance companies across the country is where they raise their rates from. So if something's happening in Florida or California or whatever, that affects us here.
And we can't control that part.
Can't control it.
So let's say you were considering purchasing a house right now in January at a 6.75% interest rate. Now, according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, they expect the interest rate to be at 6% by December. So we'll compare those two scenarios. If you bought a home, you borrowed $220,000 at 6.75%, the principal and interest amount of your payment would be $1,427. Now in December, you could get a 6% rate, but they also expect that homes will appreciate it by 4.2%, which means instead of $220,000, you'd be borrowing $229,500. So the higher loan amount at the lower interest rate only saves you $54 a month. So on the same house, it's $54 less a month, but you now owe almost $10,000 more than you would have if you bought it in January.
So the moral to that story is to buy now, save your $10,000, and refi later.
And who knows what situation we'll be in December. Now, other buyers are going to be jumping in the market because they're incentivized by low interest rates. Could have another bidding war like we had before in 2021 and 2022 where you're now having to purchase more. Because the key is they still are forecasting that we have low inventory. And less supply means more demand, which means you're going to
bid more.
You're going to bid more.
Bidding more. So your $10,000 could be $20,000.
The only other thing I would say to warn about refinancing is there is going to be a time and a place to refinance. You are going to be bombarded, especially by the servicers that you have your loan with. Everyone's going to be reaching out to you the second that the interest rates drop a little to be able to refinance. You really need a professional to evaluate whether it's the time for you to refinance, whether they think rates will come down a little bit further. We always figure a recapture period. How long is it going to take you to recapture the costs of the refinance? So that's something that you definitely need to discuss before you just jump in because the rate sounds lower, because the whole picture may not be the most beneficial.
Exactly. It may cost you more in the long run for that $54 or your $37. So yeah, it's not worth it.
So hopefully that answers some of the questions for both our realtor partners and for our potential clients. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a great day.